Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Well, today I'm playing around in my art journal. Now, there's something on this page here that did not go as planned the first time or the second time. Yep, some things take a few layers, and I've got it all for you in today's video. This background that I've got here is what I call a leftover background. This was using up leftover paints, little bits, odds and ends, and over time it kind of built up to this. But now it's time to turn it into a more complete art journal page by adding some more layers. Now, the stencils that I'm going to be using on this, they are part of this month's Stencil Club collection available over at StencilGirl Products, and I am honored to have created this in collaboration with Mary Beth Shaw. Well, after putting it there, I thought that was the only spot that I was going to put it on the page, but I kind of couldn't stop myself. I really liked how the swirls within that looked, so I decided to add a touch of it here and there in other parts of the page. Now, with stencils, you have a ton of flexibility. You can use the whole thing the way it is, or you can pick and choose parts. Like right here, I'm just going to use a little bit of it right on top of the blue. You never have to use all of it. You can use as much as whatever fits what you're doing. Now, the 9x12 stencil that comes in this set, I'm going to put it on top of the page, and it looks like I'm going to cover the whole thing. And I absolutely could, and actually I've got a video coming where I show you how that looks when you do that. But for right now on this page, I'm just going to use part of it. And the fact that I can use all or part or some or a lot or a little of a stencil is part of the reason why this has been one of my go-to things to use when I'm playing for years now. I haven't gotten tired of them because they're so flexible. Something that you can use in a lot of different ways tends to get used more in my studio. So once I lifted up the stencil, I realized I really wanted a flower up in the top corner. So what can I do? I'm just going to pop that stencil right where I want it. I'm not going to bother to line anything up. And then I'm just going to stencil one of the flowers there. Now, definitely if I wanted to take the time to line stuff up, I could have taken that second or so to do that, but for the way I was positioning this, it just wasn't that important. And once I've got the stenciling where I want it, then I'm going to kind of just add a little bit here and there so that it makes that flower stand out there all by itself. I had a wicked case of spring fever when we were creating these stencils, and so that's why you see things like flowers and butterflies on it. And I'm going to take the 6x6 butterfly here, and I'm just going to stencil it with yellow paint. And I thought it would really stand out and pop. But not every decision is a perfect one right out of the bat. Right out of the bat? What is that? I meant right out of the gate. So I've got a layer on here with the yellow that just doesn't rock my world when I lift up the stencil. I'm like, no. Call that one an oops. An outstanding opportunity presenting suddenly. Luckily, this butterfly stencil has a mask that comes inside of it with all these wonderful letters and numbers on it. So that's going to make it really easy for me to get some pattern and add another color on top of that yellow. Because I love where that butterfly is, I just need to get it to pop and stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to put the mask right on top of that yellow, and then I'm going to bring in some orange paint. And I just want to go exactly where the butterfly is. I don't want to go over the edges. And then I realized, oh wait, I've got a perfect mask for it. It would be this part. If I put the stencil part of it right around it, that's going to automatically mask off my edges, so I don't have to worry about doing this neatly or carefully, because I really don't like having to think about that stuff. So anytime I can get a stencil and a mask set together where it's all there for me, ready to use in an instant, I'm a happy camper. So I've got that orange stenciled on there. I lifted up the stencil. I lifted up the mask, eagerly thinking I was going to fall in love. And I do love the numbers and letters on it, but nope, didn't have the feeling of love that I wanted. So I grabbed some yellow paint, put that butterfly stencil back down there around it to act as the mask, and then I just went on top of that. Well, it turns out there were a whole bunch of oopsies on this one, a whole bunch of opportunities for me to build up some layers with it. And when you're doing something with stencils, it really is easy to just go and smack another layer on top of there until you're happy. But I decided to step away from the butterfly for a moment, so I just grabbed some pink, and as I was putting little touches of it here and there on the page, I realized I think I want some of that pink on the butterfly. So what do? I bring back that stencil, put it back on top of it, but this time when I put the pink on it, I'm just going around the edges. I'm not actually going to fill the whole thing in, I'm just going to go here and there around the edge. And then as I was doing it, I realized there was something that I needed, a very, very fancy and very effective tool when it comes to playing with paint, and that is the baby wipe. Yep, just a little bit of rubbing here and there to get things to blend together. And this time, when I lifted up the stencil, I was very happy with how that butterfly was. So then it was time to just add the final touches onto the page. And that is a little bit of scribble journaling here and there with a colorful fountain pen. Now I got so excited about playing with the stencils, I forgot to tell you all about Stencil Club. And what it is a monthly club where you get 3 stencils every month. So a 9x12, a 6x6, and a 4x4. And each set is exclusive just to Stencil Club. It's the only place where they're available. And once you're a member, by the way, you can also purchase back sets. So if there's previous Stencil Club sets that you like, then you have access to those too. On the 15th of each month, the Stencil Club sets ship, and you also get access to a private workshop using that month's stencils. And so in this month, Mary Beth Shaw and I are going to be doing some gel printing with them. And you can find all the details about Stencil Club and how to sign up over at StencilGirlProducts.com. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's play. If you've been enjoying this video, I'd so appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know as soon as I've got a new one out. And if you want to see more of the fun, check it all out over on the website at acolorfuljourney.com. Thanks so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.